Picture the scene. You and the band have turned up to the venue. You've loaded all your gear in. You're all set up, ready to go. The audience is starting to build. More and more people are coming in the door. Anticipation. People are looking forward to having a good night out. You and the band looking forward to playing a big set. New stuff you've been working on. You do your sound check, but you don't get any sound out of the PA. You troubleshoot and you figure out the problem. The mixer is dead. It's done. It's not happening. So what do? Well, this has happened to me. Genuinely, this has happened to me. Thankfully, at a rehearsal only, not at a gig. And I had to think on the fly to get around the problem, but I figured it out. And in this video, I'm going to talk you through how you can use one of these to get around that problem. And then it doesn't have to be a Quad Cortex. It could be a Helix or a Head Rush or a Fractal or something like that. You just need the right amount of ins and outs on the back. So how do we set this up to do it? Well, we're going to plug this back in. We're going to head over to the computer. I'll show you exactly how. Okay, cool. So we're back at the desk now. Quad Cortex is plugged in. I've got the desktop app Cortex Control loaded up. I'm going to pop that up on the screen now so you can see exactly what I'm looking at. I'll talk you through how I've got this set up. Now, like I said, this will work with other modelers, absolutely. In fact, the first time I figured out how to do this was back when I had a Helix. The same applies. As long as you've got enough ins and outs on the back of it and enough processing power to be able to cover what you're trying to cover, you'll be able to do this, no problem. The tip and trick for this, keep it really simple though. You can get away with less than you think you can. And if you're interested to know how I set up a preset for the pub covers band that I play, you can watch that video by clicking the link that's popping up on the screen now. I'll also link to it in the description below. It's worth a look. There's some good tips and tricks in there. All right, here we go. Back into this one then. So onto the screen, very simple. Input number one, that's my guitar going straight in there. From there, because all I carry with me is my Quad Cortex, I don't take any other effects or pedals like that. Everything is built in. I still need to run a fairly simple but usable signal chain so I can plug my guitar in and get the sounds and everything out that I need of it. Again, this is super simple, stripped down. So input number one, we then have a pitch shifter, cool. I'm into a wah pedal of sorts. I've got an overdrive pedal. I've got my amp, but I've got my amp set up to change around based on what I'm using it to do. I'm not gonna go into detail on that here. Speaker cabinet, EQ block, delay, reverb, and then we go out of outputs 1 and 2. Now these are the XLR outputs. This is what you would plug your PA speakers into. So you plug the PA speakers into outputs 1 and 2. Next channel, you need some form of vocals, right? So our singer, we'd plug him into input number 2. So his mic cable goes into input number 2. And then all I need on here is a little EQ block, running it flat. We can adjust it to the room, and a level, a volume block. Simple as that, so I can adjust his level up and down. Again, we're going straight out the back, outputs 1 and 2, XLRs out to the 2 PA speakers. Now, return 1. So I've got 2 effects loops. So into the first effects loop, we plug into the return socket. This is where the other guitarist would plug into. He's running a Helix, so he can do everything he needs to be able to do separately. I just need that input signal from him as it's coming through. And again, a simple EQ block if we need to change anything, volume block so that we can mix the levels correctly, going straight back out, output 1 and 2. You can see that on there. You see a theme here, input 1, outputs 1 and 2. Input 2, same outputs 1 and 2. Into return 3, so think of this as input 3. Okay, and then the 4th channel, because I can only do 4 channels on this, and to be fair, that's all we need. All we would genuinely need in an emergency situation like the one I described earlier. We're going to go into the 2nd effects loop, so we're plugging into return 2, so the return of the 2nd effects loop. And this final one, well, we tend to use it for backup vocals, so 2nd mic going in here. You could use it for anything. Like if you run your bass through the PA, you could do that. We don't. I mean, we do run it through the PA for our in-ear monitoring, but for this kind of emergency situation, it's just going to cause us more problems than we need. So this would be where the backing vocals will go in. Again, we have a little adapter. We'll plug into that return of the 2nd effects loop. Little EQ block there, just to change things around if we need, and again volume so we can just balance those levels out. Very simple. And then we're going straight back out, outputs 1 and 2, the XLRs out to the PA speakers. So there you have it, a really simple but definitely usable backup situation if you're ever in the position where the mixer for your PA lets you down. Get one of these presets programmed into your digital modeler, have it ready to go, try it at rehearsal, play about with it, see how you get on with it. Keep it nice and simple. The world of guitar digital modelling has jumped, so it is now so advanced that we can use it for many different applications. And being able to do this in an emergency, that just gives peace of mind. So there you have it. How do you use your digital modeler as a backup PA mixer? Easy, do it like that. As ever, thanks for watching. If you found this useful, consider giving it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below how you would use your mixer or how you have it set up for different scenarios. Genuinely interested to hear. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.